doing my morning exercises. I've got this whole routine in the morning that I'm trying to keep the habit of. I got in a great habit of it at home, and then the last time I was over the road, I kept it up. They say you have to keep a habit for like 30 days before it becomes like instinct to you and you're not thinking about it consciously, using up your glycogen stores in your brain. Try to have a tip. Don't overuse your glycogen stores. Don't think too hard. Be smart. That is my tip to you. Anyway, guys, so that was my exercises. Now I'm getting ready to grab a book that is on the other seat. And I do this 2 to 5 minute read. It's just a mini read where I hit the highlights of a book that I've read before. So I'm going to do that real fast. That's my other habit that I'm doing. So physical fitness, reading, creating new habits. There you go. So one thing I realized last night, it completely didn't register to me that there's another parking lane on the driver's side, on the car side of the rest stop. This is probably, honestly, this is probably the only state that I've noticed that in. I'm sure other states do this too, but in Iowa, a lot of these rest stops have a truck lane on the car side. And hell, had I known that yesterday, I would have parked even closer. I didn't even notice. So I would have parked closer to the door. Would have been nice. Honestly, I like parking farther away, but my thing is always safety. You know, especially when Jordan's not with me, he's vitally important for me to be aware of my surroundings and be extremely safe. So that is what I'm doing. Anyway, guys, I've got to be at this delivery. We're about 34 miles away. Pickup, not delivery. We're delivering an empty trailer and we're picking up a loading. So I get paid the same no matter what, so I feel like it's delivery. But it's 8:59 now. We got to be there by 10. We're 34 miles away, and it's 90% highway driving, so I think we'll be good. Pending like a major traffic incident on the highway, but of course then it doesn't really matter too much. So anyway, guys, that's enough for now. I'm gonna get on the road. Love you guys. There you go, that's better. Anyway, so it was supposed to be a preload, right? Preloaded trailer, and thank God, okay, I'll tell you the upside in a minute, but let me tell you the downside first. It was supposed to be a preloaded trailer, right? So I get here, I drop my trailer. There's another trailer next to it, so I'm like, okay, that's gonna be the preload, right? So I walk inside, and this place is, once again, I'm not saying names. This place is a cluster. Now, I don't know how the shipping inside works. They may be well organized. But the check-in process is you walk into the warehouse and it says do not enter this area unless authorized to do so and must have full safety gear. You know, I do need to get a hard hat, I get it. I need some safety glasses. I don't have those. I really don't. So my thing is, I didn't want to walk all the way in because I don't have safety glasses. So I'm standing there like waving. You all have probably been through this, where you stand at like the entryway into the warehouse and you're like, as soon as somebody turns, you're like, and they're just like, and then they ignore you. So I stood there and I stood there and I stood there. Finally, the forklift driver, I'm like, if all else fails, flag down the forklift driver because they're kind of one of the higher ups dealing with your load, right? So I waited for the forklift driver after two other people kind of just waved at me and walked on. I'm like, I'm not just gonna walk. This is a place where they're like cutting materials and it's very dangerous. I'm not just gonna walk in without safety gear, right? Make RTI look bad at the same time because we're unprepared, right? So I'm gonna stay in the safe area, flag down a forklift driver, and finally she's like, so I'm like, okay, I didn't want to step in because I don't have glasses, and she's like, I'm like, I don't have any safety gear. I don't have any safety gear. She's like, so I'm like, okay, that works. That works. So I get up. I cannot hear a thing because it's like noisy manufacturing, right? And she mumbled something. We went back and forth a few times. Finally, I walked right up to the forklift and like listened in her like mouth to hear what she was saying. And she said, "Your load's not ready." and I'm going to load the one you dropped. I'm like, okay, so it's a live load. You know, it honestly, it doesn't bother me. Like, I'm easygoing, right? They're already loading the thing. The moment I dropped it, like the moment I dropped it, before I got the landing gear down, they were already loading it. So you know, whatever. And I got plenty of things to do in my spare time, as you guys have seen. So it's not like that big a deal, but it was just the check-in process. It's like no number for a driver to call. Like on our main instruction sheet there was, like, if you need to get a hold of somebody, but there was no like official process to check in. You know, it's one of those deals where you kind of just have to flag somebody down, talk to them. Brittney needs safety gear. Bad. I need a pink hard hat to go with pink. I should have bought that pink hard hat back at the Iowa 80. I knew I should have. And look at this. I'm wearing the shirt today. I should have known better. But I didn't. Anyway, that is what I am up to, guys. Oh, our instruction sheet on the upside to this place. I read our instructions. The directions took me exactly where to go. Thank you, RTI. Good work, DMs. And they already had instructions on, you know, drop and dock such and such if the dock's open. And dock was open, so I whipped in, dropped. Like, I had most of the work done before I even went in to check in. So that was a nice perk. So on the upside, we're done already. It's only been like 30 minutes. They're fast. On the kind of funny side, downside, it's not really a downside. I'm pretty easygoing in detail, but he's like, it's gonna be the other trailer now. It was a different person that came out with paperwork. They're like, I didn't know you were out here. And they're like, that one's ready to go. Like, you could take that one. I'm like, it is going to Lawrence, right? Okay, little trick, guys. I tried to pull out of the dock and I could not get pins on the tandems. Would not release. Like, would not unlock. So one thing I realized is when the trailer's out of air, if it's been in a dock a while, they will not release. It's because it takes air pressure to do so. So right now I have both air brakes engaged. And I went ahead and pulled around the corner away from the dock, giving it a minute. That way it has time to air up, and then I'm going to try it again. It should unlock. There we go. Works like a champ. Sounds like they locked. I'm just gonna go double check. Alright guys, that's how you do that. Little tricks like that can save you a lot of hassle your first year out of truck school on the road. Learn little tricks like that, make life a lot easier. Hey guys, how's it going? I am finally shut down for the day, and it's been interesting. So it's been a good day, but an interesting one. So I asked my DM, I messaged him this afternoon to see if there was any more loads. I started getting phone calls, emails, messages, like everything, like call me ASAP. So finally I gave him a call. He answered. He's like, I beg of you, I've got a Florida load and it's like almost 1,400 miles. And he's like, my other driver got delayed. I think it's like a dedicated thing, because he said it's really of importance. Like, this load has to be on time. And his driver fell through. So he's like, is there any way you can take a Florida run? I know it says on your notes that, you know, no East Coast, you know, no Florida or something like that. And so I think there was some confusion, because I never told him don't send me like ever to the East Coast and don't send me to Florida. I clarified it with him. I'm like, you realize I love Florida loads, and I love East Coast, and I love West Coast. But here's my problem, and I explained the whole like military base port of entry thing and what happened to Jordan last time. I said, just don't send me to a military base. Don't send me to a port. And I said, if you send me to the East Coast, get my ass out of there. Either get me immediately back to the Midwest or get me a load going to the West Coast. But then once I hit the West Coast, same thing. Get my ass out of there. Don't leave me sitting on the West Coast. So I'm like, that is my only issue. I'm like, I will rent a lot of that stuff for you. You know, I love East Coast. I love Florida. I love West Coast. If it's out and find another load to get me back. And it's not a military load or a port. He's like, you know, as long as it's not like far south Miami, Florida, we can do that. I think some of the lack of miles was a confusion with the DMs, since I swapped like 2 different DMs because the one, Javier was promoted, right? And when he got promoted, I got a temporary DM, and then it got passed on to my primary DM, which is the new person that I'm working with, JJ. And he's awesome, but RTI has notes. And this is what I've said before, like, you really have to take an active part as the lease purchase driver on communication. You know, ask about things, because according to his notes, you know, it's basically like looks negative, like I don't want to ever go to the East Coast, don't ever send me out there. That's kind of the feel of, you know, what he read on paper. And it took me calling and explaining that to him, that no, I don't mean that at all. I just mean, don't leave my rear end out there, you know. Keep me out there no more than 2 days and get me back. Like, get me a load back. If you can do that, I'm good with going all over. And just that little communication can be a night and day difference between getting miles or not, because he was trying to be a good DM and honor what he had on his file. You know, she loves Midwest freight, which is true. It's my favorite. I love anything in the Midwest. Texas, Indiana, Illinois, Kansas, Denver, Colorado, you know. I love Midwest. Nebraska, Iowa, anywhere in the middle of the country I love. But, you know, if you just read it on paper, it's like, she loves Midwest. Okay, well, we don't have anything that's Midwest. I guess we'll give you what we got, you know? And it's not my DM's fault. It's like, he's trying to please me as a lease purchase driver and keep me on and keep me happy. You know, so definitely don't feel afraid to negotiate with your DM. Talk to him. Anyway, guys, that is enough for now. I took the Florida load. Long story short, it's not ready till tomorrow morning. That's the only downside. But it will get me 1,400 miles between now and like Tuesday/Wednesday. But the thing is, even if it does go till Wednesday, it's a 2-drop. It's a 2 delivery to 2 different stores on different days. And here at RTI, they pay you special bonuses and things for doing 2 stores. And it's actually worth it. It's not like a crappy, hey, we'll give you $12 if you do another store. It's going to take you many hours. You know, RTI actually pays you well for doing 2 drops. So 1,400 miles and 2 drops. And I've already got like 450 miles in just over 24 hours, I think. So honestly, that's not half bad for me getting pink back late in the week and getting a late start, you know what I mean? So I see it as a good thing. And after that, hey, it's got to be a lot of miles coming back, because it's a long way back to Kansas.
Wash me in the water, cleanse me in the mercy of your love. I need a heavenly